This week's episode of the Western Outdoor News Podcast is brought to you by the Big Fish Challenge. With just 4 weeks left and only a $40 all-in entry, the Big Fish Challenge ends September 9th. For more information, visit wonews.com.
And I'm not exactly sure what SPRAGUE is going to put out prize-wise, but you can usually count on SPRAGUE Sports to give the best prizes at all of these different contests.
Hey folks, and welcome back. This is episode 30 of the Western Outdoor News Podcast. You just heard Amber from Visit Yuma. Her and I sit down this week and talk all about what's happening in town prior to and during the Dove Opener September 1st. We then sit down with Robert Weese, owner and guide of Northern California Guide Service. He started his guide service in 1985, fresh out of high school, and hasn't looked back. Robert is very involved in just not guiding fishermen, but nonprofit fisheries research and fisheries enhancement.
That would be my suggestion. That's where we're working currently. It's a lot of water. That's probably about 65 miles of river.
Robert narrows down the bite happening on the river right now, how he likes to fish it, and which sections have been most productive. All right, folks, and let's just hop right in with Amber from Visit Yuma, talking about everything leading up to this season's Dove Opener. Probably one of the more fun hunts I've been on with my family, and we could all participate and kind of turns into a competition, you know?
Yeah, and that's kind of what they wanted it to be. They wanted it to be this, kickoff to the hunting season and really just make it something so that families with all ages of children can get involved for a very nominal amount of money out of pocket. So it's really cost effective and it's a great time for the entire family.
So there's a few things that are kind of happening before the hunt. You guys got quite a few little events planned. Let's kind of go over those. I'm looking here at August 29th. We have a preseason shoot at the Yuma Trap and Skeet Club. Can you kind of go over that and what that's going to be like?
Yeah, so this is a new event that they just brought on. I haven't been given too much information on it, but it is basically just one of those events to kind of get everybody, like we said before, kind of geared up, ready for the hunt season that's going to happen, in the next couple of days after that. Just get them kind of dialed in and ready to take in as many of those doves as they possibly can.
Yeah, get your shot right and be efficient while you're doing it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then rolling into September, on opening day, we have a couple things going on. We got the Big Breast Dove Hunting Contest, and that's hosted by SPRAGUE Sports there in town. And so kind of talk about what that's going to be like.
So the SPRAGUE Sports Big Breast Dove Hunting Contest is exactly what it sounds like. They'll be set up and ready for you to bring in all of your doves, and we're just going to see who's got the biggest bird, basically. And I'm not exactly sure what SPRAGUE is going to put out prize-wise, but you can usually count on SPRAGUE Sports to give the best prizes at all of these different contests.
Yeah, they seem to be the one to go to while you're in town there, and I know that they were preparing quite a bit for dove season. You even had kind of mentioned earlier that they were getting ammo directly from the source just to make sure they were ready for everyone coming into town.
Yeah, everybody at SPRAGUE Sports is really great. I mean, they're all hunters themselves, hunters, anglers, and they're really into the sport and they're really into what dove season does for Yuma. So they really do try to make it very easy for every hunter to come in, even if they brought nothing with them except for their gun, to really be outfitted correctly and have all of the necessary pieces that they will need for the hunt. So yeah, they went out and they usually stock up their entire store for these hunters, but they were having a little bit of a difficult time. I mean, obviously everyone's kind of feeling the same pain when it comes to ammo right now, and especially if you're a reloader, there's a shortage. It's difficult to get your hands on. So right now, they are stocked and they're still pulling in ammo for the dove hunt, every day when the trucks come in. The ammo that they have now will keep everybody from having to go to the biodegradable, which is super expensive. So low cost, again, keeping it available to everyone.
Yeah, that's huge, is to be able to make this sport accessible to anyone and everyone to hunt it. So
yeah.
Well, after that, on September 4th, we got a few different things. We got a youth dove hunt. It looks like a cook-off and a big barbecue happening. Let's kind of talk about that kind of stuff. What's going on there?
Yeah, I mean, September 4th is really like your big bang. That's when everything's kind of happening. So the youth hunt, obviously, it is exactly what it sounds like. This is really a way for us to get our youth involved in hunting, kind of pass down this tradition. So dove hunting in Yuma, as you know, you've been out here before. It really is a generational thing. You'll have grandparents that are out there with their kids who also have children, and it's just this event that just keeps being passed down. So anytime we can do something like this Clint Curry Memorial Youth Dove Hunt, to really kind of capture that youth and get them into this sport, we're gonna do it, and we're gonna go all out. So they're gonna go to this dove hunt, this youth dove hunt, and after that they're gonna have the second annual dove hunt and cook off. So that's gonna be kind of like a lunchtime event, and I believe that one should be at SPRAGUE's. And then followed up by the Mike Mitchell Memorial Dove Hunters Barbecue Dinner, which is a huge dinner. Every hunter that comes in, they really they all want to get to that barbecue dinner.
Mm-hmm. And to participate in these kind of things, do you have to sign up online? Is there somewhere to call to make reservations or anything? Or is it kind of just more of an open format where you can kind of come and just be part of it?
It's more of an open format. I mean, obviously, if you're needing locations or any additional information, you want to know, like, can I bring my doves with me and have somebody cook them? Or, whatever your questions are, I would always direct your questions to any of us at Visit Yuma. We will obviously be able to help you. Sprague Sports will be able to point you in the right direction and get you the answers to your questions. And obviously, the Arizona Department of Game and Fish.
Bringing your dove into certain restaurants, is that something that happens? Are you able to do that and they'll actually prepare a meal for you?
Yeah, there are a lot of our restaurants here, and I don't know offhand, so I apologize for that, but a lot of our restaurants here they do cater to the hunters. You've got the hoteliers, they all will set up cleaning stations so that you can bring your doves in. They've got the cleaning stations, the grills out there, so you can do them right there. But then I know Cretin's, they do a cook-off, and I'm not sure. I think that you can bring your doves to that one, but there are other participating restaurants that will allow you to bring your doves in and get them cooked up.
That's awesome. That's a huge draw, I think, to a lot of people to be able to just, after a long day in the heat, to bring your doves somewhere, get them, clean them yourself, and then have a restaurant prepare them for you in a different way that you might not had them before.
Absolutely.
And then on the 5th, we have a big gun raffle happening at the high school, it looks like, at the Catholic high school.
Yeah. So Yuma Catholic High School, this is one of their biggest events, and everybody comes out for this. I mean, it's a 175 gun raffle. It's the 19th edition of this, and there are $90,000 worth of prizes. So you can buy an individual ticket for $25. You can buy a book of 10 and a golden ticket for $200. And so you're going to have the pre-raffle, or I think they're calling it the early bird drawing on that Sunday, the September 5th at 2. And that's going to be at Sprague Sports. So 25 guns are going to be awarded, and all early bird winners will be re-entered into the main drawing that will happen on Saturday, October 9th at 2 p.m. Again, at Sprague Sports.
Wow. So Sprague's is going to be hosting quite a bit that whole week, it sounds like.
Yeah, they really are. Yeah. So that earlier bird drawing, it gets a big pull from this town. I mean, like I said, you have all of these guns and prizes up for grabs. So there's a total of 183 different prizes. And like I said, over $90,000 worth of value.
That's just crazy.
Yeah.
Is there anything that people can do to be prepared for the weather out in Yuma during this time of year? Lodging and where you're going to stay at. Are there availabilities at some of the hotels, or is everything pretty booked up by now?
So we see in Yuma on average about a 10,000 individual increase when this season kicks off. And we obviously do have 2 seasons. A lot of these hunters, they are annual hunters for this wonderful dove hunt, and they know how quick our hotels do fill up. So they're very quick as they're pulling out of town to ensure that they've got their next year's reservations already set and locked. But we do have a few new hotels that have gone up, and I encourage everybody to take a look at them. We've got the 4 Points Sheraton that's in a pretty central location. That is a brand new hotel here, and they should have availability. But I'll obviously always check in with all of our hotels because some people are last minute and don't plan very well. So you never know, you might be able to get a room. But people do camp, they'll go out to the RV parks. But like you said, it's touching on the weather, September, it's not as hot as it is right now in Arizona, but it's still a little bit warm. So camping isn't always the best, but it's not always the worst.
Yeah, RV camping is nice for that situation if you could
I
get
call
full
that
hookups.
glamping.
Yeah, glamping, exactly. And there's quite a few RV parks within close proximity.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, Yuma's full of them. We see a swell in our winter months. So Yuma not only caters to hunters, but we do also cater to those that come down in their toy haulers and their fifth wheels and all of their RVs. So we have plenty of space for everyone.
Very good, very good. And then there's also guys who are probably just driving out for the day, getting out there early in the morning and then just doing a day hunt.
Yeah, and that's a great way to do it. But obviously, we always want to encourage people to come into Yuma, stay for the night, see what Yuma's all about, enjoy some of those restaurants that are going to be able to help you get your doves cooked up, and just rest. Maybe go out the next day and just enjoy Yuma.
Yeah, because there's quite a bit that's going on in there, and that town's got quite a bit of history.
We do, yeah.
They got the train station down there, right? And that's
the Quartermaster Depot.
Yeah, I remember going down there and just walking around and looking at things for seemed like at least an hour or two, and just hanging out and enjoying it.
Yeah, Quartermaster Depot. I mean, in that time, I mean, if you're into hiking, we've got tons of amazing hiking trails. We obviously, hunters usually double as anglers, so there's amazing fishing in Yuma. Everyone always wants tight lines and pulling up those big mouth bass. So there's plenty of that to go on here. And then obviously, if you're into just getting into the water, you can tube. We've got paddleboard renters. There's just so much to do. And obviously, we've got amazing restaurants here in Yuma. You're never going to get a better taco or a better margarita anywhere. So I always encourage people to take in all of the sights and all of the food.
Well, talking restaurants, what's your favorite? Where's your favorite place to go grab a taco and a margarita?
My favorite place, I think, right now to go grab a taco and a margarita is Tacos and Beer. They have these amazing braised beef tacos. Oh my God. They're so good. And then they have this margarita. It's called a spicy grape margarita, and it's actually grapefruit. And so you got jalapeno, tahini, and the grapefruit. It's the best margarita I've ever had in my life. I love it.
Oh, man. Can't go wrong with a spicy margarita, that's for sure. Especially after a long day of dove hunting.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Amber. Well, is there anything else that you can think about talking coming up here for the season? Any other reservations people might need to make? Any other things they might need to know?
I would say, if anybody has any questions about anything going on with dove hunting season, obviously I'm going to direct everyone to yumadovehunting.com. It's a great site. It gives you all of the information on our seasons, because if you don't know, we have 2 seasons for dove hunting. We've got our September 1st through the September 15th season, and that season you can get any morning dove or white-winged dove that you want. Late season is going to be November 19th through January 2nd, and that's only morning doves. Then obviously year-round, we have our wonderful Eurasian collared doves. There's no bag limit on those babies because they are invasive and they are everywhere.
Yeah.
So in the event that you have any questions about the hunt, you can always go to that website. You're going to be able to get on there, find a map of the locations that people normally like to hunt. You're going to find any of the hunting regulations. So if you're curious about doves, if you're curious about what your bag limits are for the day total, how many max you can have, and even how to identify the doves, because not everybody realizes that we have multiple types of doves here.
Yeah, that dove identification. I'm actually looking at the PDF right now that you could actually just download and print out if you wanted to before you came out. It is very simple to navigate, and just the pictures, it's very easy, and it's nice to see that this is something you just print out and bring with you and have on hand. Yeah. So you can make sure you're not going to get in trouble doing anything wrong.
Yeah. And then obviously I will touch on our dove hunt cleanup. That happens on September 18th from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. And everyone who wants to participate in this, they're going to meet at SPRAGUE. People that pre-register for this event, they're going to get a breakfast burrito, because who doesn't love a breakfast burrito? And then the first 21 volunteers, the first volunteers that are 21 and over are going to receive a complimentary ticket to our 2022 Rio de Cerveza Brewfest. And that's just an amazing event itself. So if you're a beer connoisseur, if you're really into anything like that, then you're going to want to come back to Yuma and enjoy our Rio de Cerveza. Yeah, so the dove hunt cleanup is a great way to kind of give back to the Yuma community and to say thank you to all of our farmers who traditionally plant a late crop for all of the farmers to be able, or for all of the hunters to be able to hunt these doves. It brings them in, it gives them something to feed on, and it really makes hunting a lot easier here in Yuma. So it's just a way for us to say thank you to our Yuma farmers and to make sure that we clean up after ourselves and keep Arizona beautiful.
Yeah, definitely. It's that whole desert and the low river and that whole zone is just so amazing, and there's so much to do, like you said, from being on the river to hunting dove, and then throughout the wintertime, the mild weather is just beautiful.
Oh yeah, it's amazing out here.
All right, well, Amber, thank you so much for being with us today. Let's keep in touch, and we'll see how this dove season goes. I'm sure we're going to be having our writers write all about it in the coming weeks, and we got quite a bit planned here for the future.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And up next, we have Robert Weese with NorCal Guide Service.
Basically got started when I was probably about 6 years old. I grew up in Corning at Woodson Bridge, swimming there and stuff as a kid. And we had guides back then, believe it or not. And I loved to fish, and I always would ask them when they come in if they'd take me fishing. And then one day one of them took me out fishing, and I went with him. And then I asked him if I could drive his boat, and he let me drive the boat. And then pretty soon I was driving the boat, and we started catching fish. And then other guides or other private fishermen wanted me to drive the boat. So I ended up driving for a lot of people, and I just expanded from there. And when I got out of high school in 1985, I started my business.
Nice. So you ended up getting your guide license and, getting a boat for yourself and guiding on just about every waterway up there that you could?
Yes, when I first started as a young guide, I used to go over on the coast and do drift boat guiding on all the rivers. And I used to travel with the jet boat over on the Klamath River and Rogue River also a lot. But now I stay close to home. I have a family of grandkids and everything, and traveling for me is not too much, but I got great fishery right here in the Red Bluff, Woodson Bridge area on the Sacramento River. It's just spectacular here.
Yeah. And that fishery as of late has been pretty good. You said an improvement from last year, definitely, right?
Yeah, this year we're seeing about a 25% increase of salmon in the river, and that's really great to see. And the catches have been they've been biting good too, which is really great. You can have lots of fish, but they don't want to bite. I guess it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. So what's the main river that you focus on? Or, you're obviously going to go where the bite's happening. Without giving away too much information on the bite, where are you guys kind of targeting right now?
I would recommend the best bite would be from Rooster's Landing Resort in Cottonwood or Anderson. It's in between those two little towns. From there, clear down to Hamilton City Bridge. I think that section there, everybody's catching fish through there. You can find a spot where there's not a lot of people anywhere. Basically, you have some spots all to yourself. That would be my suggestion. That's where we're working currently. It's a lot of water. That's probably about 65 miles of river.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of boat ramps at every section, which makes it super nice. So that's kind of what we're doing right now.
Yeah, a lot of good holes you could find and post up on. Now, are you guys, I'm not too familiar with salmon fishing in the river. Are you guys metering for fish and then dropping back to them? How does this work?
Basically, as a veteran, we've been here for so long, but we target the best and most productive holes, and we put that in our routine. So there's so many holes and there's only so many hours in the day to fish. So you basically pick your best holes and you fish those consistently, and you weed those out as they don't produce. So you basically say you got 5 holes you're working consistently. So in that day you fish 5 holes, 1 of them don't produce or 2 of them don't produce. So the next day you try it again, those two don't produce again, you usually weed those out and add 2 new ones in there. And if you continue doing that, it basically adds new holes to your routine, and you're actually weeding out spots that aren't producing.
Yeah. So just trial and error, kind of moving through your zones, hitting your holes from previous experience. And it sounds like having experience on the river is huge, with flows starting to change, especially, right?
Yeah, having time on the river, you can't beat that. And also good communication between our guides. I have 10 guides that I really rely on, that we all talk back and forth every night at the end of the day. And right now we're moving around, fishing different spots, fishing different sections, and we all talk back and forth with each other at the end of the day, say where the best fishing is.
Yeah. If you guys, that's huge. I know. I guided down here in the Salt for the last 7 years, and having that community of other guides to talk to at the end of each day is huge. And even to this day, I still talk to most of those guys almost every evening. So I stay up on the bite. It's not relying on internet content and stuff like that, and having a good core route is huge.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun talking back and forth, and we also like to tell stories about how our day went and stuff like that too. It just makes it fun when you got the camaraderie that we do. Yeah, very good. Well, we got this good salmon fishery happening right now. What's next for you down the line? Does fall striper? Do you guys hit that too on your guide service? Yes, we hit fall striper, and then we also do. Our Salmon Run actually runs clear till December 31st. So it's very good all the way up till then. And we have the second run called the late fall run that comes in, which is really fun to fish for. And then at that time, we're overlapping with steelhead fishing.
Oh, cool. So you guys are able to do like a mixed bag there. And I'm sure cooler weather is kind of nice too on the river.
Yes, we like fishing the late fall. We do a lot of salmon steelhead combo trips where we'll do some salmon in the morning, and then we'll do some casting and drifting for some steelhead. So it's a really fun, popular trip.
Yeah. On that steelhead note, is a lot of that steelhead you're catching is hatchery steelhead?
Yeah, mostly hatchery steelhead, and then we also have rainbow trout that are basically look like a steelhead, but they're not fin clip. So sometimes it's hard to decipher which is a steelhead in our river, because we have like a good run of rainbow trout in there also, and they're identically the same fish, basically.
Yeah, totally. And then I also was just kind of going through your website, and I saw that you guys also do some jet boat tours for people who might not be into the hunting thing or fishing thing, and then you also have hunting guided hunts as well. So you guys kind of have your dipping wherever you can. It's cool to see, not just a fishing guide, but you guys also do some cool hunts, it sounds like.
Yeah, I basically, I grew up here in Tehama County, been here all my life. So all we knew was hunting and fishing. And so you just basically just grow into it, and you just have your business that way, where if you grew up hunting and fishing, you grew up with everybody here that had the ranches, and, all the good hunting spots are. So it was just transition right into making it a business where you can take out the public, and so they can enjoy some great hunting spots also.
Yeah, and it's so important to share that with the public, and especially the youth.
Yeah, we definitely want to get our kids into hunting and fishing, because they're our future, and if they're not into it, the future of hunting and fishing will go away.
And that's what's so great about guided fishing trips, is that you can go up there and you might have a boat, an experienced angler. I have no idea what's going on up there. I don't know the river systems. I don't understand the Delta very well. So the first thing I would do, even going up there, and I'm trying to do it, is at least get a guided hunt or a guided fish once. And then from there, I could probably learn and do my own thing, but I'd still be, using that guided hunt to just cut my teeth, and getting people, bit is the main way to get people to stay fishing.
Sure.
especially with young kids, and you take a young kid out and you don't know what's going on, you don't know what's happening, and you can't get them on fish, they lose interest pretty quick.
Yes. That's why you got to pick the right species of fish for the age group.
Exactly. Yeah, totally.
We have a pretty neat fishery for kids too. Our rainbow trout fishery is really great. We have some really cool techniques that even the youngest little kids were able to catch their own fish, which makes it really nice. And then we have some other fish called the pike. They're pike, And those are easy to catch too for the kids. So it's really fun for them to catch the pike and the rainbow trout.
That'd be an awesome time with the kids for sure.
We do a lot of fishing trip with kids, and we'll have a group come up. Family will have 2 or 3 kids, and the husband and wife will we'll fish for salmon for a while and maybe get a salmon, and then we'll go over to the bank and the kids will rig up some salmon eggs and let them cast out, and we'll catch some trout and some pike, and then they're happy, and then they're ready to eat a sandwich, and then we go back out again with the mom and dad and fish for salmon, and the kids play, and it's everybody's happy.
Yeah. And what's the main technique you guys use for that salmon fishery up there?
We use several techniques, but if we start out in the morning, my favorite technique is to back troll a flatfish lure with a sardine wrap that's been marinated in different types of oils. So it could be a sardine oil or a herring oil, or a lot of people like to put anise and shrimp oil. Very different things you can use for them, but basically, good fresh bait on the lure. And then later in the day, we'll switch over to salmon roe. And we'll drift that, and that's pretty much our main bread and butter for the salmon.
Yeah, and are you guys collecting and curing your own salmon roe for that fishery?
Yes, that's really important as a guide, is to be able to cure your own salmon roe. That way you can make it just the way you want, and there's so many different ways to make your roe. So all of us guides, we really take pride in our getting the eggs and curing them up for our customers.
Yeah, making those, you guys, when you dry them out, it makes them stick. Don't you guys put them in like a sack or something?
Sometimes we'll put them in a sack, but majority of the time we cure it. It comes out of the fish and just a big piece. It's all stuck together, and we just cut it up into little chunks after we've cured it, and it'll stay on the hook. Our curing process just kind of toughens it up, and we color it, but it maintains its original type of texture and look. It's pretty common knowledge for most everybody as a guide, and local fishermen or other fishermen that are, there's a lot of great fishermen that just like to go fishing, and they have nice boats like guides do, and they take it just as serious as we do, but they're just a regular guy that just likes to go out fishing,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so they cure their roe just as well as anybody else. And a lot of times guys like that will hire a guide like myself, and we'll teach them how to fish and show them a lot of little secrets, and we build a relationship with them and help them along the way. And they got, they have a really nice boat, and the next thing you know, they're another friend of ours that we developed just by teaching them how to fish and helping them utilize their boat. Yeah.
And it's just another good contact to have, at the end of the day when you need to get a little information.
Yes.
So that camaraderie is just huge. Well, Robert, is there anything else anything pressing you want to talk about right now that's going on up there? Anything too
The main
crazy?
thing I'd like to emphasize right now is probably that the salmon fishery up here is going strong. The fall run is looking really good, 25% more fish. All the guides are catching fish on the river. We have over 100 top guides up here in our area. So if you're interested in coming up and catching some really nice king salmon, this is the year to do it. And again, we'll catch fish all the way till December 31st.
Yeah.
So we're looking to, have some people come up and enjoy this beautiful river.
Is there any outstanding catches from the last couple of weeks?
We haven't had any outstanding giant fish, but we've been very consistent. And to me, that's outstanding to me. I mean, We're able to go out right now to catch 1 to 1.5 fish per rod. And that's very consistent throughout all our guides, which is very good. Yeah,
that's good. That sounds like good fishing. If you could come in with at least 1 fish per rod, that's huge. Especially in a fishery that's like, kind of still on the mend, it sounds like.
It has its ups and downs. We're just holding our own right now. We're just, taking it day by day, and hopefully this year we'll be able to get some good restoration projects, that are going to stick around for the next 5 years, so we can see what kind of results that those do.
Yeah.
We got some 21st century science coming through that we've been working on, and I really think we're going to see some, more fish in the river released and more habitat restoration in 2022.
Very cool. Yeah, that's always exciting to hear about, and to get those results after, like you said, a good 5 years or so will be very interesting to hear.
And then also I'd like to mention that our nonprofit organization, NorCal Guides and Sportsmen Association, is a really great group of guys, girls, organization of businesses. And that'd be something we like to have every fisherman join. And then also follow us on Facebook, because we also, the guides have fishing reports, and you can got a list of guides there. The top guys are in there. It'll really give you a directory on how to find fish, salmon fishing, rainbow trout, striped bass fishing. It gets you into the link of the top guides that are out there.
That's a very good tool to have in your pocket. And it sounds like it's all for a really good cause to try to restore this habitat and keep this fishery going strong.
Yes, we need new members all the time. It's $20 for a membership, and your money goes a long ways. We made some really big strides in the past 6 years, and we're really excited about it. But we do like to have new members. We like the consistent new members come in and learning about what we're about, helping us with the restoration projects, with their ideas that they can come forward with, and just their support is super important.
Well, with that being said, I think that was a nice little report from you, and a lot of information. And I'm very excited to keep hearing from you and seeing some fish reports coming our way.
Well, thank you. I appreciate spending the time with you today, and look forward to our next conversation. And then maybe one day you come up and go fishing with me. Yeah.
I've been meaning to. I've fished the Delta a little bit for largemouth and for striped bass, but I've never done the salmon fishing.
Yeah, it's super beautiful up here. It's surprising. Everybody that comes out, they're like, man, I can't believe there's nobody here. You got 100 guides in a 60-mile section, and we're all spread out all over. And you just have it all to yourself, basically.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
All right, folks, and that's going to conclude episode 30 of the Western Outdoor News Podcast. If you haven't already, go check out wonews.com for trips, charters, and of course, the Big Fish Challenge.